Okay, Bernina is adding some long and short stitches in the file. And you know, it may sew fine, but I'd rather not have those gaps. So I think I'm going to go ahead and redraw the one for Bernina in the Bernina software. I'm going to leave up the original one that I had as a guide and zero in. Do we want on T? Maybe. And so we'll start with the open object. On the outline, I'm going to right click, and the default is I think 2.5, but I'm going to make sure and have that on 10. My connectors, I want it to never trim, never tie off. What else do I do? Oh, I don't want any underlay. That may be where the extra stitches are coming from. And I don't want pull compensation, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Apply. Okay. Now, there is something on my screen, but understand it's well, let me let's lock them. I'm going to touch K so that I'm not affecting what I'm trying to redraw. And I've started with an orange. Okay, we're going to digitize an open object, and I'm going to tell the machine where I want it to stitch. So I'll begin here. Control makes a straight stitch, and then I want to come back, not where I began, but just shy of it. I think I double bounced. Let's escape. There's my orange, open object, outlines, and it's on 10. Okay, let's try again. And stop there. And I'm going to just continue. Because Bernina is trying to protect me from myself, it's adding some long and short stitches. And I don't want that. I want the machine to really make these long spokes. And true, I don't want to hit across. I don't want to hit in the exact same spot. I should have drawn this, used the magnifier to get this even bigger so that I can see it. Make it some crossing going on. But at least with this way you can see what I was truly going for. So from here, I'm not going to take that short stitch. I want to take this long stitch. And in my earlier ones, I had stopped here, but I feel like this needs another base. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a couple more stitches. Now I'll hit enter. And see, it added in some stitches on me. I'm going to take this to a new page now. Control copy. Control V to paste it. Touch 0 to enlarge it. And it's just trying to go back. And let's see if those are really there. I don't think they are. I don't know what kind of residue that is. It's probably just where the stitches are kind of touching them, the one beside it. So let's go to design, auto start and end. I wanted to start at the first stitch of the design and the last stitch of the design. And then I don't have this business going up through the center. Okay, and I want to see what it looks like in thread. It's kind of pretty. Let's slow it down. Touch 0 to see the entire. Yeah, I think it's just rendering of how the screen is rendering that work. So this is the one that I'll send out to you Bernina people. This was the extra stitch I felt it needed. And that should end there. Touch T. Okay. Now I'm going to select this and we'll go to Settings, Create Pattern. This is going to be my Bernina Merrow 322. That was yesterday's date. That's how I got that. Okay. Yes, override it. Now this one started here and ended here, so that is the direction that I'm going to set my stitch. It's asking me for an entry point, and I want that to be here. Now, as a final step, I'm having to reduce my spacing, and you wouldn't have to do that if you set this. So I'm going to work my way in from that handle, and there's my first one, and I'm holding my control key so I can get fairly straight, and I'm going to let that be my last stitch, and touch 0. Let's use this. Touch control, and forgot to go to straight stitch. Okay. Let's give it another color. And that got rid of that color change, didn't it? Control Z. Now I'll apply the stitch, and it's a pattern run, and it's not in the heirloom. It's a stitch that we have made, so it's going to be in the folder that I created. That looks better. It doesn't have those short stitches because I plotted each one. Apply. Okay. Yeah, I think they could be closer still. So I'm going to select the circle and right click to get the properties. And and this is what you can change. If you need a wider stitch, you could change that to 5. And then my spacing, I'm going to take down to 3.5 and apply. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's look at it actual size. That would make a really filled in. We may not even need it that filled in. Let's try 4 here. But you'll know once you apply thread to it what you're going to need as far as your spacing. I like them to just barely overlap here, and I like these stitches to actually touch. So some say that they can get the same effect by doing a satin and then adding a triple stitch. But what I like about this is that my stitches will tend to look a little bit more like Merrow because they're being kind of separated, although I actually drew them that way. But when it runs, it's all done at once. So I'm not having to worry about lining something up. Circles are the worst for getting out of round on you. Thanks for watching.